cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to the channel with me, Disco, coming up with you with yet another beer video from in front of the cans and bowls here on the bar, where I'm still a fan of calling the Disco Arms. And welcome along, if anybody is. It's a game day. Yeah, a bit of football. I don't do a lot of football. I did a bit last season when the mighty Argyle were playing, and indeed, I did one. With this fine gentleman, Mersey Beers, thanks for popping in, and a cheers to you. I hope you are well. And if indeed you're finished work and starting on the beer early, because I am, yeah, bit of an early stream because the football kicks off at 8 o'clock, so I thought I'd get a few beers in. So a little bit of a rush, but not too bad. I'll do an hour or so and then nip out to watch the game. I can't do a watch along for this one particularly because I'm watching on my laptop, so can't do both particularly. What happened to the disco music? Yeah, I changed it a little bit. I always change it for the football. That was Semper Fidelis. A little bit of an Argyle theme going on there, even though it's kind of an American tune, or maybe that version was played by an American band, but you know, Pilgrims going over to America, that kind of thing. Oh look, an American flag on the beer. Yeah, this is a little bit of an extra beer I slipped in because I wasn't sure whether I was going to do this one. I've already reviewed this one somewhere along the line. I don't know if it was the last football stream. If I remember to do it afterwards, I'll put it up there where I did several of the pre-football streams last season. So I've already reviewed this beer, so I wasn't going to put it in. In fact, the beers I've got lined up only arrived yesterday because I was thinking about it, wondering whether I could do it and whether I'd be able to get out of work on time. Did a little naughty today and slipped away early. Thanks to my boss for that one. Left him to it, finishing off the transfer, which is fine. It's all right. Yeah, so slipped this one in a little bit early. Haven't put it up on the ban. It's some Hackney Church. So I reviewed it a few months ago. So it's been sitting in there for a while over the summer. 6.3% hazy IPA. It's actually better at this end. I wasn't that fussed on it, I don't think, on the review. So I'm not even sure I put a review up on Instagram for this one, but I took a picture earlier, so I might well do later. It's actually a collab with an American brewery, Blokes Brewing. Two Blokes Brewing, South Carolina. Lashes of Simcoe pairs with Kahia Nelson to create a plush, punchy, and a pleasantly pungent beer with a playful pop of passion fruit. Personally, for me, I get more pineapple cubes, pineapple pips going on. Quite light. It was that slight hoppy edge. It's definitely very hazy, but a very light hazy on it. But yeah, perfectly decent palate cleanser. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's why I sort of put it up. Southwest Coast Derby, Devon Derby, I think we'll call it. Generally, yeah, playing nearest and hated team, ex-Shiter. I've spent 20 odd years, the best part 30 years, in fact, mispronouncing that city's name. So I call them ex-Shiter, not to be confused with Sheffield, just up the M1, because I don't like them either. But I haven't had any fans on from either of those teams for a long while. Don't think we'll get any Argyle fans in tonight because I haven't put it out to the Argyle lot. This is a beer stream about beer, and yeah, got four now beers with Pilgrim in somewhere along the line, as we'll find out as we go along. Alas, nothing to do with Plymouth or Devon, the beers. Can't get any beers out of Plymouth or Devon. If anybody knows any decent web shops, bottle shops, other than breweries in Devon, where I can get hold of some Plymouth or Devon-based beers. Even the breweries in Plymouth don't really have a decent web shop. I've tried. I've tried. Some of the other breweries outside of Plymouth have got a web shop, but I would like to, anyway, more about that later actually, because I would like to get some more beers out of Devon. Picking up a can of Cold Beers Hackney Church collab. Oh, which one's that? It's not the Gazpacho one, is it? I'm up for getting a can of that at some point. The Gazpacho sour. I know, but you know, I like weird shit. Nothing massively weird in tonight's stream for beers. A range of sizes, funny enough. A range of styles. Something a bit different. Like I say, nothing really to do with Devon or Plymouth. Just except the name a Pilgrim. So yeah, as you know, football, innit? Like a few beers with football. Recently, kind of football's kind of taken a bit of a back seat for me, mainly because I haven't really got out to any football games recently. I still watch. I still count myself as a fan, but definitely a bit more armchair fan these days, for the last 5 years anyway, for reasons that may be obvious. But at some point, maybe I'll get back to a game. But if I did, I wouldn't be doing this. Mind you, this is an away game, but it feels like a home game because it's actually at St James's Park, Shiter. So I wouldn't be going to this game. I have been to a Devon derby or two. They're good fun. I did recently see, this afternoon, I saw an interview with a player called Daniel Nardiello. He played for both. He played in a Devon derby, and he actually said it was like no other derby. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm sure the Liverpool derbies are massive. But he said the general level of hatred between the fans is something he'd not experienced in any other kind of local derby, which I don't know if I'm proud of or not. But yeah, Plymouth and Yorkshire is a big game down in them parts. That's why I thought, well, I'll get on the beers before I watch it. It's the way I used to watch it. So we shall see. Yeah, what is that Cold Beers? Hackney Church collab. And the Cold Beers, I don't know Cold Beers. I should do. I think I've seen the name, but just don't know them that much. So I don't know which one that is. And whilst we're back, we'll be picking up the chocolate IPA, which is still available. A chocolate wheat IPA. Wheato's one, which seems like me and Scott and nobody else actually bothered with in the end. Mind you, nor did I. I still got one of those in the stash. But there we go. Yeah, I feel like I'm necking out. That was meant to be like a pre-stream kind of live and a palate cleanser and relaxant. Dashed home from work to get here vaguely on time, and as always with one of my streams, I wasn't exactly on time. Sorry about that. Also, didn't get anything else right in the postings today on Instagram. Both of them had errors, so I'll correct that later on, of course. Oh dear, hold on a second. What's going on? Oh no, my bad. So I thought I lost the stream for a second. Right, yeah, so let's get on with the business end of Thursday Tipple, To Be a Pilgrim. I called it To Be a Pilgrim, and I thought calling that's progress. But then I realised that, like I said, I haven't got any actual Devon or Plymouth beers. That's not the sort of progress that takes a little bit longer, really. So not really beer number one, it was beer minus one, effectively, beer zero. Sure, good evening to you. Thanks for popping in for an unusually early stream on my part. I've done all the football talk. Now it's on to the beer talk for the rest of it. In fact, straight on, I think, to beer number one. And beer number one, as we change the banner. No can tilt for this one. It's a 500ml bottle. Might not drink all of it. Might save a little bit for the actual game rather than charging through all of it. But a very traditional beer. It's a best bitter, 4%, so quite light. Not bad for a pre-football stream of 4 beers. Although might not be best coming down off a 6% IPA, but there we go. Yeah, so brewery, and this one is called Pilgrim Brewery. They're based down in Dorking in Surrey. I've been tracking them for a while, obviously, because I know their name. I see the name, I see the connection. I haven't ever quite got around to getting any of their beers in, mostly because 500ml bottles, and most of it is minimum of 12 packs. I did do a little sneaky for this one and got a couple of 500ml bottles. They do a gift pack, so I thought stuff that cost £6 or whatever it is, plus the 13 quid on the thing. I actually got a gift pack. Got a gift pack out of them. Nicely done little gift pack. They send either 3 beers or 2 beers and a glass. And for no apparent reason, I went for the glass because I quite liked it. 3 stars and Pilgrim Brewery on the bottom. Again, not necessarily the favourite for me for beer glasses, but when you're drinking 500ml bottles, and I've lost my bottle opener, and I haven't. Get the Argyle bottle opener, of course. Superb. Yeah, so if I'm going to have a pint glass like that, I prefer the kind of bulge one rather than the straight slab-sided one. But you think they hopefully have provided the right size shaped glass that best befits their ale. Probably should have given it a rinse out before I did, but never mind. So yeah, 4% best bitter. I think we kind of know what we're going to get. Be interesting to know the hops. I don't think it'd be nice if they use Pilgrim hops in a lot of these things. And I don't know if it's going to be in this because again I haven't looked. But there we go. Into the glass, looks solid, nice. Probably slightly over-carbed head development. There's a lot of carbonation racing up that glass. So bear with me whilst I take the photograph. Still a little bit in there. There we go. Yeah. No, Kitty. I was just about to get up. Just bad timing as always. Bad timing. It's not kitty time. It's beer time. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Bless. Cat's up. Right, yeah, so it looks like a solid best bitter in the glass, to be fair. Nice and brown. It's a, yeah, general sort of mahogany kind of brownish tinge to it. Again, I won't complain about the difficulty of taking photographs of bottles. Let's put that light reflection down. See what we get from this. Might be straight in. No, didn't quite. I'll tell you what, the name on the glass, the inscription on the glass, comes out better in a photograph than in real life. That's odd. Would help if I could hold it steady, wouldn't it? No, that's worked. Superb. So yeah, I'm doing all the same regular streams as I do on 9 o'clock streams, except I'm just doing it a bit earlier today. If I was going to football, I'd be in the pub about now anyway. Move the camera again. Always do that. Joey, just we haven't even listened, Denver. Well, there we go. I'm glad to have some Americans in with the whole Pilgrim connection. I don't know. I don't need to go into the story of why, as a Plymouth Argyle fan, we're called the Pilgrims, or that Pilgrim father. I don't know, stories. Some of it's truth, but, you know, the Americans are proof that, I guess it did actually happen, didn't it? It went over from wherever they started from or ended up, you know, Boston, Holland, and called into Plymouth, and by some strange luck, we got stuck with the Pilgrims title. I think Boston football team are called Pilgrims as well. They've certainly got the boat on the badge as well. But yeah, and the rest, they say, is history. Given that kind of double pour with that big creamy head going on, very much Hartlepool style, very much a Cameron style almost. But yeah, anyway, 4% best bitter from Pilgrim Brewery over in Surrey, Dorking. Yeah, cheers and enjoy the beers. Absolutely spot on. What a great first mouthful of Pilgrim Brewery, to be fair. Not necessarily my favourite style beer-wise, Best bitters I can find often. The term best bitter I find a little bit fast and loose because they're never always the best. This one is certainly pretty much spot on for the style. Very light at 4%, but got a good kind of malt character to it, kind of slight caramel. Fortunately, it doesn't go too copper penny. Some can be a little bit kind of not metallic, but kind of a little bit copper penny in the mouth. Yeah, Casco strikes again. Bless her. If you see me Instagram this afternoon, I had other cat problems. Equally cute when the farm cat wandered into the shop as I was taking the photo for the beers, which I'll show you later. But fortunately, very curious kitty, but doesn't come for attention, just wants food. So she decided the beers weren't food and immediately nipped off again. But I did manage to get the photo out. There you go. But yeah, as a best bitter, as an English style best bitter, it's got a slight hop note to it, but the malt character's all there. A little bit of zing to it, that carbonation kind of bringing out that kind of hop flavour on the back end. Let's go straight in, and that's one I could fairly easily drink. I say that often about beers of this style because it's one I want to drink and get through because it's okay, but it's not amazing. It's not the best bitter ever, but it's perfectly decent, perfectly in balance. Like I say, it doesn't go too copper penny, but there's a little bit note of that, but in good balance. Let's see what they got to say. I'll have a look at the website in a bit. Obviously, no adjuncts or anything like that. Malted barley and wheat. For best flavour, served cool but not cold. It hasn't been in the fridge. It's been in the beer stash, which is cool. Oh, that's interesting. Can't tell you the best before on it because they haven't printed it on the label. Naughty, but never mind. I say it arrived yesterday, so I'm guessing it's still in date because they sent it out to Brewery this week. About this beer, Progress is our flagship ale and was created in 1982. So yeah, I'm drinking an old beer, but an in-date old beer. Brewed with the finest British malts to give a rich, bittersweet ale, and is complemented with British, American, and Slovenian hops. I think we could probably guess what they are if I could remember. But yeah, random combination. It doesn't actually say what the hops are, which, as always, is annoying. Maybe it's on the website. It does say Heritage Best Bitter. Whether that 1982 is Heritage or dates back even further, I'm not sure. It says our story. Our story is Pilgrim Brewery is based in the market town of Reigate. Did I say Dorking? Sorry. Reigate. I knew it was Surrey somewhere there. Of Reigate, and was established in 1982, making it one of the oldest craft breweries in the southeast of England. Now there's there's a talking point, if only anybody was here to hear it. But yeah, is this a craft brewery? I mean, it's one of those things where all breweries are craft, pretty much. So yes, I kind of agree with the statement, but not a lot of other people might necessarily. Bringing a traditional kind of style best bitter in 500ml bottles is very much more trad than craft in most people's minds, but I will take it because pretty much all beer is craft. It's just a term. Argue with me in the comments if you're watching this after the event, and if you are watching this after the event, thank you very much indeed. Please click like and subscribe, whether you'd like or want to subscribe or not, just because it's free and it won't cost you anything, and you probably won't even notice. So yeah, click like and subscribe. But yeah, that's a good talking point. Reigate is on the old pilgrimage route to Canterbury. Oh yeah, and there are records of beer being brewed in the town for hundreds of years. Our philosophy: we are a family-run business driven by the desire to brew the very best of beers. Pretty much every brewery wants to brew the best, to be fair. But, yeah, they're not wrong. Consistently with a collaborative culture, Pilgrim Brewery associates with many local businesses to increase creativity and cooperation within the community. Outstanding beer with passion. So fair play. Whatever you think of craft beer, they're not wrong. It is a craft brewery because all beer is craft beer because it's been crafted. It's been hand put together, handmade, not quite handmade, but hand put together for sure by, well, even if there's a certain amount of automation, you've still got to load the hoppers or, there's still a certain amount of hard graft going on. Nice bit of lacing on the glass there. And that big creamy head is sticking around. Carbonation, no, it's still there. I was saying it calmed down a little bit, but it's still there. Fairly clear and translucent, but there's a little bit of haze going on. Don't know whether it is fine or not, but it looks a little bit hazy. Nice kind of brown, like mahogany coloured tinge. Lighter off camera from behind. Certainly works in this kind of glass. So like 4%, you take big old sips. Let's have a little look at Pilgrim. I probably said all that we need to know. Reading the back of the can, it's probably the same as on the website, but let's have a little look. Because I like to share this information. It's all about learning. Hands up if you've heard of Pilgrim Brewery, or if not, hands up if you have now. So there we go. 3 stars, I guess, is some kind of American reference. I'm not sure. Okay, so SIBA, Society of Independent Brewing Association. No, that's not what SIBA stands for. Something like that. So this one got Silver Award for Best Cask British Bitter. Is it a British bitter if you've got American and Slovenian hops in? Although it's made in Britain. That's the homepage. Yeah, so I picked this one up. There's a lot of merch and stuff. Let's have a look at the beers. That's what we're here for. So there's the Pilgrim gift pack at 12 quid. I said 13, it was 12, so that's quite good. Plus 6.5 quid. Delivery. Saracen, a proper stout. You can have an unproper stout. The other one I had in there is that Surrey there in the middle of the screen, 3.7% session pale. I went with the Progress because Pilgrim's Progress is a thing. It's a saying, and I can't remember what it relates to, but there you go. But yeah, mostly 12 packs, which sort of annoys me, but I can understand why they do it. I want to pick up just 1 or 2 here and there. There's always in a 12 pack 2 or 3 beers I'm not that bothered with, so you're gonna have to have 2 of each maybe. See the market porter, 6.2%. That's a hefty porter. Entire ale. That's a very heritage kind of name, isn't it? But if I ever get over that way, I'll be calling in and see what I can pick up from their shop if they've got one. They've got a tap room. Oh yeah, I remember this. They're kind of on an industrial estate, but it's an old kind of like, it looks like 20s or 30s kind of building, very kind of Art Deco-ish, which looks lovely. See if there's any more in the story. Oh, hang on, that's what I wanted to look at, wasn't I? Sorry, bear with. Olive. Oh, I see, olive hat. I saw putty here as well. What's putty? Oh, putty coloured hat. Right. I just want to see if there's any more information. Sometimes they'll give Styrian Goldings is what I'm thinking of. Progress, there we go. Oh, here we go. Right, our flagship beer first brewed in 1982. There we go. Progress is made with Pioneer and Whitbread Goldings hops. Marisota Crystal Chocolate Roast Barley. Yeah, so Pioneer. So I said Goldings, so yeah, not a bad guess. There you go. For the Hop Info fans. Yeah, a jolly decent. Best bitter, a little bit light for me. I'd want something. I always want something more smoother, slightly more easy drinking, slightly more smooth, slips down a bit more. It's got a little bit of a rough edge now, a little bit of kind of brown sugar roughness is how I describe it. You know, soft caramel in the middle with a little bit of rough brown sugar on the outside. Yeah, so Pilgrim Brewery, named after a completely different type of pilgrim to Plymouth Argyle. The pilgrimage to Canterbury and that kind of stuff, being on the road out south, rather than anything to do with pilgrims travelling to America. But that's the closest reference I'm going to get, really, to Plymouth, to Pilgrims of Plymouth Argyle. Which is what this is all about. If I don't know, I thought I might do a little bit of. I've been doing a bit of football banter and all the other teams. People, like Simo with Man City and Rate My Beer doing Spurs streams. Last night I was, taking a mickey out of them, but I'm always about the underdog. Do you know what I mean? And the lesser well known. And I've started making a bit of a thing of this now. I think I said it the other day. It's like, all those mainstream breweries and stuff are great, and the supermarket beers are great, even though sometimes they're smaller breweries. But I genuinely like highlighting beers and breweries that maybe you've not heard of. So if you've heard of Pilgrim Brewery, do let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in people who've like seen the breweries that I do, because that's the way I find new. That's why I'm on like Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm interested in. It's not mainstream. It's not going to get hundreds of views. We had this thing last year when I did that vidIQ thing, and they show they'll type the hashtag in like Pilgrim Brewery, or I can't remember when I had Lakes Brewker, I think it was the one I did, and it was like there was very few others, or the others that I had very few views, but there was like half a dozen people who'd done that same bit, which is great. For me, that's how like beer YouTube or beer reviewing goes. If I see somebody doing a small brewery that I've not heard of, I'm looking it up, and I might even hold on. Oh, what happened? What are you done about? Are you just fixing some stocks? I don't know. what are you darning about? But yeah, that's what I say about like seeing the smaller breweries. And if I see somebody else who's done a smaller brewery, then I'm all into that. Hey, Jamie, how you doing? All right, yeah, not too bad. Having a few beers before the football at 8 o'clock. Not doing a watch, and I watch football. It often helps, especially especially with the Argyle. Mate, I sent this picture to my mate, Argyle mate earlier, saying I'm doing this, and he said, "Oh yeah, you've got a 10% there. That's a bit much for the midweek." I'm like, "Well, it's Argyle. You need to do this, And he went, "Yeah, I was going to say maybe you should have like a beer every time they score." And I'm like, and he said that might be a very sober stream. I'm not really one for going out at the moment. I'm very much a homebird these days, So that's why I can't do a side by side, because I'll be watching on the laptop that I'm doing this stream on. So yeah, I'll go watch it with my brother. It'll come from my home. I have a pre-stream, but it does help get a bit of food in. I'm fine. So I know they are, because it's on telly. So it's a Thursday night. So lagging at the moment. Oh dear, my apologies. That's what he means by the oh darn from Shark. Oh yeah, about the Pilgrim. No, this one particularly not related to America. I'm fine with that. What do you think you're doing, Kitty? I'm in the middle of something, darling. You can sit there if you want. I'm getting a good old O2 and the mobile data connection that sometimes does that. There's literally nothing I can do about it, because if I refresh it, I think it will just falls down the hole in the middle. Hello. Hello. That's very nice. Good girl. Yes, hello. I'm not. I can't help you, Kitty. I'm literally chatting to some people. I'm a bit in the middle of stuff, and as cute as you are, yeah, I see that. I got to get stuck. Hello, lovely cat. Right, these people are not silly, crazy kids. Look at me. What a fucking! I'm talking to a fucking cat. Talking to a cat. Still the same. Right, sorry about that, guys. Because no, if anybody knows how I can sort that lag out without collapsing the whole stream, in fact, let's. Sorry about the lag. I can't see it. If anyone knows how to sort the lag without disrupting or failing the whole stream, do let me know. Cheers. She is not the boss. She is not the boss. She likes to think she's the boss. Well, like this morning, when it was a little bit stormy outside, she was not the boss. She was going out because I was going to work. She tries to claim she's the boss, but she's realised she's not the boss now. She ain't getting a lap for a snooze, so she's fucked off out of it. I am using mobile data because I don't have Wi-Fi or thingy here, and normally it works really well, but sometimes it goes all a little bit mashed potato, and I've no idea why. I just want shit to work. It works all right to start with, and sometimes, see, for the last two streams, when I go and share the screen, then that's when it goes all a bit wonky. But for the last two times, I shared the screen and it didn't go wonky, so I thought it'd been sorted. So yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm highlighting my own comment. Normally the instruction is turn it off and turn it back on again, but you can't do that in the middle of a live stream. I mean, okay, I'm all right, Jack, because I've got beer, and I wonder if I just refresh the stream. I don't want to press that little button at the top that says refresh and watch it disappear down the hole in the middle. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm stuck here. Right, bear with me a second. I'm going to do a thing. This might make it sound even worse for a second, but yeah, it looks fine. It looks absolutely fine. But if I go on YouTube, it looks absolutely fine. It probably sounded awful there for a second. It does. Oh, pressed off for that one. Yeah, it looks fine to me, which is a real pain. and there's literally nothing I can do about it. I'm okay at the moment. Well, says I'm only waffling about beer anyway. You're not missing a lot, to be honest. I've given my all for that beer, and there, look, for a best bitter, that's some proper decent lacing on that. It's been, yeah, it is a little bit. It's been a fairly bad day here in the UK. I think all across the UK. I think UK folk, do let me know what it's like where you are. I can't see outside at the moment because it's dark and I've closed the curtains. But it doesn't. I can't hear any rain, but it has been kind of slightly lashing rain and a bit windy. Which, yeah, because I'm on mobile data, that shouldn't affect it, or should it? I don't know. You know what a technophobe I am. I just turn it on and expect it to bleed in work because that's what we have technology for. You know what I mean? You tell the tech, you program it, you tell it to just bloody work. I'm good. All right. Well, do let me know if it goes again, and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I've absolutely, and there's no indication either. There's no way of knowing. Like I'm just talking to a screen, so as far it looks perfect. Well, not perfect because it's me, but it looks spot on. Right, let's get this going. Let's get straight on to the next one then, because I have no idea what we're doing for time, and I want to go by 7:30 because it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. But anyway, yeah. So a properly decent. To be fair, it gets better as I've gone down. It's got all the right notes, quite nicely balanced. A little bit of hop note, but not too bad. Mostly kind of caramel with that crystal malt in there. Caramel kind of toffee. A little bit, very touch of copper penny on the outer edges, but more kind of burnt brown sugar. Pretty smooth caramel toffee notes in the middle. Yeah, perfectly decent. I will have a look again at some point at this brewery. Been going since 1982, must be doing all right, you know. Over in Surrey, Reigate, not Dorking, Reigate. They're very close, you know what I mean? But yeah. So yeah, cheers. Perfectly decent, best bitter, Pilgrim Brewery. Let's have a look. Yeah, easily smashable. I do like that pint glass actually, because it's very understated, you know. You can see the logo just about, but it's not too ostentatious, not too bad. So moving swiftly on, we've got a couple to go before kickoff. Then I've got to go and work out what beers I'm actually going to drink whilst I watch the game. But it's alcohol, so often watching it with a few beers down is the best way, really. So another beer that only arrived yesterday, because I didn't plan this very well and I kept umming and ahhing and thinking about it, is beer number 2, please. And I could just reach for it there because it's one I've already done. It is Pilgrim from Abbeydale. And it is a 5%. So we're kind of moving on up, apart from the fact I had 6 pence to start with. So 4% to 5% is a 5% pumpkin spiced ale. So very relevant. And I'm in an argument as to whether to collect pumpkin beers today. In fact, I've got a couple in baskets that I'm umming and ahhing. If it weren't for the fact that I didn't already have some beers arrive today, which I'll show you in a moment, because it's good to do an unboxing or two. So Abbeydale up in Sheffield. Had this beer several times before. I don't know what happened there, but it gave me an indication that things weren't right because it just disappeared down the hole in the middle. Please let me know if I'm back before I open this beer. Am I back in the room? Shark, if you're still there, am I back in the room? Because it just went blank. In fact, it went back to the appropriately coloured green and white. Am I still going, Shark? Can you still hear me? I have absolutely no idea. So what I'm going to do is stand over here, turn the sound off. Right, it's done it again. Bit worried. I hate the thought of terminating the stream and starting a new one because that just messes everything up. But bear with me a second. You're lagging, but not much. That makes it look like I'm lagging when I read a comment I've just put up after the event. But okay. I mean, this time of day, this early kind of stream is kind of. I think I tried it once, twice before, and that lag kind of thing happened. I mean, I can go back after the event and take them out. So if you're watching after the event, let us know. But yeah, fucking technology. Why can't shit just work, man? I tell you what does work. I know this beer works because I've had it before. Let's get it into a glass and hope for the best, shall we? Because I've got one more beer to bring you. Again, it's simply called Pilgrim. I have no idea why, to be honest. But it's got a very American-style church on the front. Apologies, Mr. Wilson, if this is too early for you, because he hasn't come in and reminded me to do the can balance. But I'm slowly getting back into the swing of that. Steady, come on. Come on. I'm annoyed how that cut out just as I got the can balance right. But there we go. Steady. Stay. I'm not talking to the cat this time. I'm talking to a fucking beer. What's worse, talking to a cat or talking to a bleeding beer can? Just going to put the screen down. Quite a nice golden colour in the glass. Yeah, so pumpkin spiced ale, but still a very pale ale. Golden, I guess. Declines to say what it considers itself as, whether it's pale or golden. My can is lagging. No, my can is leaning. I love a good beer lean. Yeah, I brought that back. I forgot to do it for a couple of years. Started it in lockdown, and yeah, bringing it back. Does beer work? Well, you know, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, plenty of carbonation racing up that glass. Nice head development, but it looks a little carbonated, and I don't think it will stay. I've got to admit, I don't remember this one from previous years. It's one that I've always tried to get, and I think last year I didn't. But it seems they bring it out every year, Abbeydale. Abbeydale have some fantastic beers, great ranges, really good on stouts. I don't always get to try them because there's always something else going on. More about that in a minute. So yeah, nice kind of golden colour, much lighter behind the camera. Nice maltiness on the aroma. A little bit of spice, but nothing major. Pumpkin, as we know, is a funny one. Pumpkin doesn't really taste of anything, but we all put it in pies and put spices with it just to get some flavour, I think. So you might as well just call it a spiced ale rather than a pumpkin spice, but it's got to be in there, I guess. Carbonated. Sorry, I packaged. No, I didn't. We packaged a pumpkin Hefeweizen last week, so that will go on the bar probably next week, just hopefully in time for Halloween. That's very good. I think the Hefeweizen brings those extra kind of banana-y kind of flavours, which again covers the pumpkin. It kind of doesn't match. We've declined to, my boss has declined to spice it this year again for the second year in a row. It works really well. That pumpkin gives a kind of extra kind of slightly savoury kind of flavour to it. It just works really well. You brewing a pumpkin spice ale this weekend? A little bit late, but it doesn't matter if you brew it or drink it then. Yeah, the actual pumpkin gives very little to the beer. Do you think, this is a question for you, do you think it gives a little body? Does it, like, if you're actually putting, we roasted the pumpkin. Again, I think that gives a bit more sugars and stuff like that, but does the actual flesh of the pumpkin add anything to the body of the beer? Because we put it in on the boil, so it's still in the beer, so there's a little bit of fleshiness, maybe protein, kind of gives a little bit of addition to the body. Let's check this one out anyway. I can't do any more aroma because the nose is blocked up, but yeah, cheers and happy pumpkin times. Yeah, nice. So one thing I get with pumpkin, there's a kind of orange pith thing going on. I know pumpkins generally are orange, not all of them, different kind of good, but I get a slight orange kind of rind, slight orange note going on. Gives a little colour, sugar definitely, and body. Fair play. Yeah. Right, for Thanksgiving. Right, gotcha. Yeah. So not for Halloween or whatever. So for the next month. Fair play. I generally, it's, I think, a good thing. It, like you say, for all that lack of flavour, it does add that kind of, like you say, the sugars. So therefore, slightly, I think, to the body of the beer. Yeah, so I get a little bit of marmalade going on. This one, not strong on the spice. So there's no kind of out and out. It often ends up being a lot of kind of cinnamon or kind of slight pepperiness and kind of slight spiciness. Let's have a look, see what it actually is on this one. Right, so pumpkin spice ale. Begin your pilgrimage. Did that 28 years ago. A seasonal addition to our small batch Brewers Emporium range. Yeah, they do a lot of ranges, Abbeydale. This tasty spiced ale is fragrant, full-bodied and flavoursome, definitely, with a lightly bitter finish. Yeah, we've selected a classic combination of autumnal spices inspired by our favourite holiday recipes to create a cosy yet refreshing golden ale. Oh, right, so they do decide what it is. So it's a golden ale, fair enough, to keep those cockles toasty and warm. Now that's to be, as a description, that's fair play. It's got that comforting kind of spice note, warming, very definitely in a golden ale. There is a little bit of hop character to it as well. Ingredients, thankfully they tell us. Pumpkin, obviously, allspice, cinnamon, cloves, ginger and nutmeg. Pretty much all you want in a spiced kind of beer, really. Star anise maybe, but yeah. Allspice, well, that covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it? Cinnamon, love a bit of cinnamon. Cloves, I always used to think I was allergic to cloves, and I may still be, but maybe in this quantity it might be all right. Maybe it's whole cloves I'm allergic to. Ginger and nutmeg. See, the ginger, that's where the warming kind of spice is, isn't it? So, here's an interesting note. Employee owned since 2024. That suggests there was some kind of financial issues going on. It got bought out. I didn't know about that. Okay. Sharks. Base for his pumpkin beer is an amber ale. A lot of people, including me, would. Yes, amber is quite slightly darker, isn't it? It's like breadier and kind of like that. There's not so much of it. It's definitely a kind of gingerbread note here with that ginger. There's a little bit of breadiness, but yeah, an amber ale also works. It's because that extra kind of darker malt, darker breadiness going on. Sounds good. Fair play to you. Fair play, sir. I look forward to hearing about that one. Let's have a quick look. There's no point looking at the date. In fact, there isn't even one. There's a best before date. Just because me and Shark have this thing about best before dates and how I drink out of date beers, even though these are blatantly not out of date. Here we go. Best before 15th of June 2026. So it's very much definitely this year's beer. I have been known, I think, to buy a pair of these and keep one for a while. But yeah, lovely golden ale, really tasty, nice spice notes, but nothing too out there, nothing too fiery or too spicy. I think ginger takes the lead on this one a little bit. It's got that kind of slight fiery note, but it's kind of restrained. Not so much on the cinnamon, I don't know. Maybe the allspice is covering cinnamon as well. Really nice. But yeah, there's also that kind of slight marmalade-y, slight orange rind kind of note to it, which I'm not against. Although I don't like that kind of earthy kind of note so much. When it's orange, it's kind of that kind of balance to it. There's a bit of a little bit of bergamot kind of feel to it, if you know what I mean. Really nice beer. As I say, I try it every year, so I always forget just how good this beer is. Like I say, a nice balance of flavours. So I didn't have it last year. Let's have a look. I think this one probably is the last time I had this beer. And I'm only say I didn't include it in the pumpkin series, having had it before. And I got it again. I think it was out last year. Right, no, crikey. This is how it is. Like this one, 21st of September 21. That's weird. So why is that June? Yeah, same lineup. Same combination. This one said Brewers Clerics. Clerics. Not in this one. Interesting. So is this one much hazier, do we think? I'll have to have a look. I don't know whether I did it on stream or whether I just did it on Instagram. I did do a video of 3 pumpkin beers. Called it Smashing Pumpkins. I did it very much after the event. But yeah, I kept the can because I love that can art. I think this it feels like a very American, or is it kind of Dutch American church kind of outline. That's what it feels like to me. So, and again, light colours. The flavour in this is really nice. It is 100% very, very warming. Really enjoyable, really balanced. It's got that kind of gingerbread, ginger cake kind of note. Yeah, not one I want to really be sitting and smashing back, to be fair. I sort of want to chill with it, you know. I just want to, I'm taking big mouthfuls because I'm really enjoying that flavour. It is really, really nice. Like I say, that breadiness. Again, very much between a golden ale and an amber ale. It's got that kind of Yeah, that kind of gingerbreadiness, nicely warming on the lips. Superb character to it. A little bit of lacing on the glass. So yeah, supremely fresh, I think. That's what comes out this time of year. I really like what Abbeydale do with this beer. I'm sure I said that last time. I should have found the previous one, to be honest. Yeah, superb. Really good. Talking about random beers, though, as I say, this is a Yorkshire beer called Pilgrim. I'm not quite sure what the Pilgrim reference is. The pilgrimage to what? And as I say, absolutely nothing to do with Devon or Plymouth Argyle. Just the name, really. As I said earlier, starting, if you do know of any beers, breweries, bottle shops can craft beer emporiums in Plymouth or Devon actually have a decent web shop where I can get some beers. I know there's a Vessel in Plymouth, but they seem to have stopped sending beers out. There's a brewery, couple of breweries in Plymouth, but they don't seem to have any web shops. In fact, so much so that I did briefly think for this stream, I'd do the next best thing and do some Cornish beers. Big fan base for Plymouth Argyle in Cornwall. And in fact, after I conceived that idea, we've actually got a game next week, so I might do this next week. I've got a bunch of beers in. Arrived today, ordered them on Monday, from Cornwall, of predominantly Cornish beers. So let's do a little unboxing. If the stream is working well, let's move them out a second. And we'll do a quick unboxing of some Cornish beers, because I know a lot of Cornish Argyle fans. It's kind of relevant. Got them from a bottle shop in Truro called Red Elephant. Let me know if you've heard of them. Really, not necessarily predominantly Cornish beers, but I went for Cornish beers for this one because I didn't want to be ordering beers that have travelled all the way to Cornwall to come all the way back. So I went for predominantly beers from Cornwall. So the next best thing to Devon, and this is another big rivalry in Plymouth Argyle circles. There's a big fan base of Argyle fans from Cornwall. It is, apart from Truro City, who are coming up but not quite in the league yet, it's the nearest league team to Plymouth. So there's a lot of Cornish Argyle fans. So I like a bit of Cornwall, sort of Devon predominantly, but I'm across the board. So I like Cornish beers. I've had quite a few. So I picked up some. The main reason for this order, I'm going to go through it. It's not a surprise because I did the pictures today. The main reason was this beer. And Shark, if you're in still, I'm sorry about this, but oh, look at that. A smoked pretzel porter, 4.8%. Brewed at Mason Brew Co., Mason Brewing Company, a brewery I've not heard of, from Cornwall, in collaboration with Steamtown. And I've had a couple of Steamtown beers. They've got a beer called, a lovely Helles lager called a Disco Fluff, which is how I first found them 5 years ago. I've still got one of their beers sitting in the stash, and a 10% Imperial Cherry Imperial Stout, I think, which has probably got a 5-year date on it. So I should really be getting around to that soon. But this is the first time I've been back to Steamtown. They're based in Eastleigh, Southampton, down the south coast. So it's a bit of an odd collab, although they're both south. Never heard of Mason Brewing. I've had a look. So smoked pretzel porter. You know, that's my kind of thing. So smoked pretzel stout. Definitely my kind of thing. It's called Salt and Steam. So, yeah, could not get that. And because it was Steamtown, I saw it randomly on Instagram, so I thought I'll have a look at that. Got another Mason Brewing beer, 4.4% hazy pale called Love Letter Straight From My Heart. I kind of picked this one because we have a hazy pale on the bar called Very Pale at 4.4%, so I thought I'd see what that's gone. I won't look and see what it is for now. I think we could just go like that, can't we? So another one, again, a lot of these breweries I haven't really heard of. I'd say 50-50. This one is called Bloom. It's 4.0 from here. It's from Cold Frame. Not heard of Cold Frame. Let me know if you have. Cornish beer fans. Oh, yeah. Right. It says on here, raw barley elderflower pale. Not sure I'm going to... Oh, hang on. What's going on there? Oh, normally I can get 2 cans in. What's going on with that? Never mind. So, yeah, Cold Frame. Raw barley elderflower pale. Don't know. Looks interesting. Well, there you go. Look. Yeah, definitely interesting. I get some random stuff. This one is from Firebrand. I've heard of Firebrand, and I think I've had one of their beers before. Funnily enough, a spiced beer I had from Firebrand a few Christmases ago. But this is simply called Black Stuff. It's a stout. 5% stout. Solid, my kind of thing. Well in for that. Next one, also another fairly well-known Cornish brewery called Padstow Brewery, obviously in Padstow. Fantastic Cornish fish in town. This is called The Smoke. And as you might guess, it's 4.5%. It is a smoked oatmeal stout. Sorry, Shark, but it is what it is. Again, my kind of thing. So sits really well with the pretzel stout. This one, the next one up, a couple of 330ml cans that I got purely because of the interest in it. And funnily enough, it was one that Adam at Mersey Beers actually mentioned the other day. It's called Braslo beer. Sort of, I don't know, some kind of French connection. This one, it's called a Saffron Helles. Now, saffron, obviously, I'm guessing is giving those kind of savoury notes out. Lovely little can, nice little peach colour can. Just, yeah, really like the idea of the saffron, see what that flavours. I've had a couple of beers with saffron in before, really interesting. And another one from there, it's called Blood of Braslu. Braslu, I presume it's called. I don't know, Braslu, not sure. Braslu? Was it Braslau? Not sure. Anyway, so this one, 5.2% Blood of Braslau red-ish ale. And I got this one because I tried it this afternoon. We just did a red ale, and it's not as red as we wanted it. It's a bit more mahogany brown. So the fact they say this is red-ish kind of intrigued me. So, yeah, nice little selection of all Cornish beers. I nearly got, there's a beer, there was a Verdant collab with who are they called? Who is it? Sure Shot Verdant collab. And as I went to do it, it went out of stock, and it was called Even Tim the Human Shark Needs Water, which is a Verdant collab of Even Sharks Need Water, which I did with Shark and Sure Shots. Tim the Human Shark. Got a couple of other shark beers lined up, and I might eventually get around to doing. But yeah, that salted pretzel one just really kind of shouted out to me, and I'm like, oh, I'll go for it. I don't need another 7 beers, but might do it, like I say, for another Argyle stream, possibly next Tuesday, next week, I think. So yeah, nice little order that. Let's move these up. I know, but it's only two. It's only two, you know. But yeah, I think the smoke gives the interest in it. Do you know what I mean? A little bit of smokiness to this one. Yeah, it's not a bad little beer haul, like I say. Had 6 from Trembling Madness yesterday, including this one and the next one coming up. Really nice beer, this. Really, really nice. A really good evening beer. Nice and smoky. Not smoky, sorry. There is a little bit of smoke to it, kind of slightly woody note with that cinnamon. absolutely delightful, to be fair. I don't want to smash it. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave it that little bit for after the stream, because I've got a big beer to finish with, and I will just simply decant going to the next one, and it will work really well with this next one, I think. So let's go straight in to beer number 3, please. Also called Pilgrim, and a 330 can. I like the way I've come down the thing, apart from the Hackney Church one. That was just an outlier. So straight up 10% Imperial Stout. A little bit of thing, what's that say? Make the pilgrimage and journey to new depths. I've done 10% beers before, Northern Monk. This is not a new journey. But yeah, it's Northern Monk. Quite a nice little understated kind of can art. I don't know why this is called Pilgrim, but let's get it in a glass and find out. Being a 10% Imperial Stout works really well after a nice warming kind of spicy pumpkin ale. Very, very dark. Going into, I'm not going to do the can balance on this one because it's only a 330. But yeah, fairly oily black into the can, into the glass. Nice, yeah, tan coloured, off brown coloured head. Looks good. It's a 10% stout. I think we know what we're getting here, but I am going to do the photograph anyway because I want to know what this is about. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow if I get a chance to post all these up being on the bar. Yeah, thanks, Kitty. Bear with me, guys. Just for a second. I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy the beer. As soon as I moved and stood up there, the bladder went, yeah, absolute 3-pint screamer. Not only that, the damn cat immediately jumped into my seat, which is great because you can just sleep there when I go and watch the match. But I'm going to retake that photograph because it wasn't actually in focus. Will I get the cat in? No, she's not quite in the right space. She's just there in the bottom of it. Kitty, guess what, darling? Kids, not time yet. Kitty, it's not time yet, darling. Yes, I know you're cute as fuck and you deserve a nice comfy seat, which is why I've got you a comfy seat over there, darling. Look. Good girl. I bought an entire damn cushion so she could not bug me and she could go and curl up and go to sleep. Does she use it? No, has to have the lap, or she'll take the nice comfy seat that I've just sat in. Right, so here we go. 10% Imperial Stout from Northern Monk, who's absolute bastions of craft beer. up in Yorkshire. Hang on, it says collaboration Imperial Stout brewed with, and then there's a picture of a rat. Let's see who it's brewed with. Craft brewed with northern pride and worshipping at the altar of malt and dark chocolate flavours. Fresh from the north. They do that, right? Fresh from the north. And I swear they've missed a trick. It should just be T apostrophe. Fresh from north. Best served as cold as the north. Not necessarily. As part of the faith in futures. Can't read any of that on a dark background. So I have no idea who it's a collab with. But it's a nice 10% Imperial Stout. Can't go wrong from Northern Monk. Don't think you'll see this one in supermarkets. Look at the reinvigoration of that. Just so easily invigorated head with some amazing alcohol legs on that. Nice little bit of lacing too. Yeah, cheers. Fresh from north. Enjoy. Not a lot different to any of their other Imperial Stouts, really. They do a good stout range, Northern Monk. That's nice and smooth, slightly spirity. Not sure what the spirit is there. It feels like it's like, I don't know. It feels a bit spicy, but I think that is working so well with that Abbeydale one. Let's clear the palate a little, that spice, if I can. Because I'm still getting gingerbread off of that, which is probably, that's why I say that kind of Madeira kind of like barrel ageness going on. Let's try again. Cheers. No, it's still there. It's still there. There's a kind of yeah, masala barrel maybe. There's a kind of I think it's difficult because of that, the spice in that previous one. It sort of covers it a little bit, but it's really nice. Absolutely superb. Bit of treacle going on, a little bit of burnt toast going on. They're not really chocolate. The bitter edge of dark chocolate maybe. There's not even too much actual coffee, just that kind of dark bitterness of coffee. Very, very nice. How are we doing for time? It's 7:30, so yeah, absolutely lovely lineup of beers with Pilgrim in the name. Absolutely, I've really enjoyed the way I've gone. I'm fortunate enough to go kind of dark, light to dark. Really enjoyed that kind of progression. Really enjoyed how the spices linger. Do you know, I don't need to eat something. I need to just enjoy it, because that dark, treacly kind of it's like a gingerbread with a chocolate layer. It's absolutely superb. Oh, Twisted, thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. Good. Good to see you. Cheers, Pilgrim. Yeah. So I'm kind of in the stream now, because I've got 15 minutes to nip round the corner, smash a bit of food. Also, decide what beers I'm going to drink watching the match, because this is a football stream after all. What I'm going to do is just literally decant that and take it round corner and enjoy it for the first half. Trouble is now, that's going to last me the first half. Literally, I mean, it's 10%, but it's a sip of a beer. I haven't got any of the build up to the match. It's a big, important derby game against the local rivals. So it's meant to be really exciting. Good. Yeah, not too bad. I'm 4 beers deep. twisted. I'm grand, and I'm about to go and watch some football against the nearest and most hated rival. So I'm trying to get excited, you know. So 4 beers will get you excited for that, because I haven't been that excited about football recently. These beers get me excited for that local derby. Definitely. The beers are crowding me out. Can't see. Let's go there. Here we go. Yeah, so an early stream from me. Thanks everybody for popping in, especially Shark for staying the duration. Adam at Mersey Beers for popping in early doors. Jamie as well, and of course the ever lovely Twisted Fairy. Doing all right. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna wander off now because I've got to go and watch some football. I hope the football's going to be good. Do look out now for Argyle games. I've got a lot of people who are watching out for the Argyle. The mighty Argyle. Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantee, but I hope so. It's been a really good stream. I've really enjoyed the beers. Thanks for everybody popping in the comments and stuff. Have a good one. For Pilgrim related beers for Plymouth Argyle, up the mighty Argyle, up the bastard Argyle. Come on, you greens. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I might even see you, well, tomorrow night, if I get that sorted. Talking to Hackney Church, I might be doing that pineapple beer tomorrow. I have to give Simo a shout and get on that stream tomorrow because I've got that can. So I might even do it from at the brewery, to be fair. So yeah, if you're watching this after the event and you're an Argyle fan, do let me know in the comments. Please click like and subscribe for more randomly, tenuously connected live beer reviews. I've been disco of just disco beer reviews, as I'm calling it now. I'm feeling wobbly. I'm gonna have to stagger around the corner. And yeah, get on it. Greeno, come on, you greens. Bear me a second while I find the outro because it's not that slick. Down in Plymouth, Janice, down in Plymouth. We're all known as Janice. Cheers, thanks for watching. Up the bastard Argyle.